As far as the first wave was concerned, rural India wasn't that badly affected. Urban India was much more affected simply because the lockdown was enforced much more in urban India than, and was practically not enforced in rural India. There was some problems in transportation, but other than that, most rural activities continued pretty much on normal. Last year, again, we had a very good harvest. And as it happened, the marketing of the principal harvest, which was the Rabi harvest, uh, went off fairly smoothly. Problems actually came a little later, which is that post Rabi harvest, when we went into the inter harvest crops, which are essentially horticultural products, that's where problems cropped up a little bit. Mainly because of, these are short shelf life goods, and there's a problem in marketing them, and there was some problem in certain parts of the country with labor. But nevertheless, if you look at overall agricultural production last year, it was pretty good. The last year's Kharif crop went off very well. Absolutely no issue as far as the Kharif crop was concerned. The problem this time around is that the Rabi crop, like last year, has been good and has by and large been marketed. The issue begins really from April, after the principal marketing of the Rabi crop is over. This is where the intercrops begin, and the planting for the Kharif crop will begin. These are the two areas which are really of concern. And there was a labor problem last time around, as I said, but it wasn't all India, it wasn't pan India. South India was pretty much spared of that. This time around, with COVID really spreading very fast in rural India, labor may become a very serious issue. And what may well happen is that the productivity may not stand up to last year's level. Maybe the sowing of the crops would be there, but I think the productivity is likely to drop quite sharply. The second problem is last year, non-agricultural activities, again, were not particularly badly affected. There was no fear in rural India. There was practically no pandemic in rural India. This time around, all of that has changed. And what is likely to happen is that this time, rural India, agriculture somewhat, non-agriculture quite a lot of damage is going to happen. This time around, the fear levels are much higher. And I imagine in rural India, could be much worse, because at least in urban India, we do have medical facilities, whereas in rural India, they don't. And if the fear factor becomes as strong and persists as I expect it to do, then the damage can be very substantial. And therefore, we shouldn't expect rural India to hold up the Indian economy the way it did last year. You see, as far as the national lockdown was concerned, it was very complete. So over that little over 2 months, really nine to 10 weeks, there was absolute halt of all activities other than essential goods and services. Total halt. Right? This time around, it isn't the case. So now that sounds a lot better, right? But unfortunately, last time around, there was no uncertainty. You had the lockdown for 9 weeks or 10 weeks, actually. And then the lockdown gets lifted across the country at one shot. No uncertainty at all. This time around, the uncertainty is huge because you don't know which part of the country is going to get locked down when. So what happens is you think of any integrated production system or you think of transportation systems. If you don't have clarity about when lockdown is going to happen, that uncertainty is going to affect all your decision making. Last year, that uncertainty was not there. The damage was large, but the damage was limited to a fixed period. And things came out fairly quickly after that. This time around, it's going to be partial, but it may actually get spread out for longer. You see, when you are taking production decisions, you have to plan in advance. Now, if you are not sure that you are going to be able to produce because you don't know when the lockdown is going to come, will you actually place orders for your inputs? Will you start employing people? Because once you do, you have to make those payments. Right? That's the uncertainty. During the last year as well as this year, you've had a lot of return migration. Right? Last year was completely disorganized, but a very large number of people, some 8 to 9 million people migrated. This time it has been more organized. People have migrated earlier. But nevertheless, what has happened is essentially a part of urban poverty is really getting transferred to rural India. In a sense, you would not be comparing like to like. Yes, rural poverty is going to go up, right? But a part of that would be exported urban poverty. There will be an increase in rural poverty, as I said, mainly because of the horticultural crops and perhaps damage to the Kharif crop this year. All right? It's quite possible that a lot of farm households who were employing workers before, because of the fear factor, may not employ them, which means a lot of landless labor who were poor to begin with will become even poorer. Number two, as I said, my big fear this time around is non-agricultural activities. Rural non-agricultural activities are going to be fairly seriously adversely impacted. And that again can lead to people getting pushed below the poverty line. Well, the pandemic has already changed India's income distribution very adversely. It began, well, the distributional problem started is an older problem. It really begins with demonetization and has progressed continuously since then, but it's got accelerated since the lockdown last year, where the non-corporate sector has been hit much worse than the corporate sector. So what we are seeing is a massive distributional change that has happened and is continuing to happen. So even in the second wave of COVID, again, it is the non-corporate and the unorganized sectors which are bearing the burden. So the distributional change is huge. And as far as any policy measures to correct it, there is really very little. So all you have are essentially the free food program through the PDS. That doesn't change income distribution because you're not changing the earnings, you're just changing their cost of living. That's all that's happening. But the distribution changes are large, and from the way it looks, it's going to take us a long time to get over this problem. You know, we have to accept that a very large chunk of our sort of lower income classes and our lower middle income groups are essentially derive their livelihoods from the MSME and the unorganized sectors. And until these revive and start growing strongly, we are going to be facing this problem. Now, how soon they will revive will depend upon a lot of factors, not the least of which, of course, is the progress of the pandemic itself. So long as the pandemic remains a threat, I don't think you're going to see very much of a recovery in these areas. And then the second part would be what governments do about it. At the moment, the state governments are in no position to do anything to take care of this problem because their resources are completely tied up in essentially disease management and humanitarian systems. And the central government hasn't really done very much in terms of policy support for these sectors. Yeah. So as far as food security per se is concerned, I don't think that's a major worry. There's plenty of food stocks. There's, as of now, the delivery chains for food supplies seems to be working all right. The real issue, as I said, is going to be what is going to happen to production in the post-Rabi harvest season. That is from now through till, let's say, November, December. That's going to be the real issue. We don't know yet. Uh, the sowing data is going to come in a little later, and that's when we will find out how bad it can get. But there is a likelihood that the horticultural crops may be affected much, much worse this time than it was last time. The supply of food products, other than food grains, to urban India and is going to be affected both from the supply chain problem as well as from the problem of lower production, likely, uh, which is going to give rise to an increase in inflation.